Wrong 2. I had to fix that as well. Caesar is a rather enigmatic character, where some people probably like see him and they just don't know why he's here. If he's not like, you know, like the district guardians or whatnot, he's just like basically just a batter OC that's just sitting here. I think I've managed to find something about what he is to an extent, because I'm really good at finding things, and I managed to find like super old roleplays where that he was a part of, but I don't want to like talk about that because he's kind of like pretty removed from that. But I mentioned this at all because I think that's like where his origin lies. There's a kind of like niche interaction with him that's not easy to see, is if you try to give him silver flesh when you don't have any in your inventory. He'll express confusion about you trying to give him something that you don't have. sky outside these windows be like that purple color. A good trick to know about this puzzle is to, when you're presented with two circles, to go for the one that's the farthest away from you, or the one that seems like it's farther away from you. Basically, to keep in mind is that nothing worth gaining is ever easy to gain. Like something like that. If you want to get something, you have to work for it. We will be doing 2 dreams of the 3. The first one will be white. Papa is mean to my friends. I don't like it when he hits them. Also, I believe either in Find Me or the test build, I think it was Spade in Club or Diamond in Club that had their colors swapped. And for the second dream, of course, the red one. It's really faint, but you can see that one symbol that's there on at the top of the church, kind of like partly. I think it's supposed to be like inside it, but you can see it because of the angle of the camera. And there's the eye that's in it, because that's Ambrose's symbol. So that is indeed foreshadowing about what the church originally was. Okay, while we do this, to explain something. When it comes to the dream batters being weak to poison and taking 5,000 damage per turn, that with how good with what I've been able to find, like really deep down through surviving reblogs from Dismal's old blog, that actually was a glitch, and back then, because back when only red dream batter existed, white and blue didn't exist back then. When you would kill him, it would still act as if you didn't beat him, because they didn't intend for you to kill him. But Dismal thought, I don't know if Vivu was working on it back then. Maybe, I think the devs at the very least thought it was funny, so they made it diegetic. So that's faster than I thought. No point in walking around while I explain this, but actually beating the dream batters was a bug, but they made it diegetic because I thought it was funny, and that was carried over to blue and white dream batter. The second thing, I cannot remember. Give me a couple seconds. I generally cannot remember, so if I remember, I'll say something. Oh, right, yes, okay. So, Batter has a unused face sprite of him having bandages around his head, which I surmise was used here, but, I mean, it was intended to be used here, but it's never used anywhere in the game. And it's not used in Find Me, especially not then, because he didn't have a hatless sprite back in Find Me, and in the test build, that's when I think he has a hatless sprite then. I don't remember, but either way, that bandaged sprite isn't used. Face sprite isn't used either. So I don't know why that's there. I think it might have been used at one point, but they just decided to just not remove it because there was no point. Interesting. Some people probably wouldn't even notice this, but this Elson does not turn to look at you when you talk to him. And the only reason I noticed is because in the test build when that's the first version of the game that has the sitting sprites. When you talk to this guy, his character sprite gets really messed up. Like he doesn't just turn to face. He doesn't like turn his head to face you. He completely like turns like the chair to look at you, and like his entire like face right just does not work right. Like the directions he turns doesn't work right. So I think they just had him not turn because they could not figure out how to fix it. Either that or they couldn't figure out how to fix it, and then they did figure out how to fix it for all future instances of this, but then they just forgot to like go back and have him turn to face you properly. Cause like I have not looked into the character graphics to see if this specific character sprite was fixed or not, but if it was, I could probably like change it so it actually works right. That was like really bizarre to see in the test build. Little ad in Malachi's district for Jadens. My guy, you cannot say that you hold no legal responsibility for people falling when you don't even put in like the bare legal minimum of guard railings. Like, you can't just say, oh, we're not responsible, and then like you put in no effort to prevent people from falling. That interaction does not exist in 1.1.3. It was removed. I don't know why it was removed. Because I remember I was playing 1.1.3, then I finally played 1.1.2, then I played 1.1.3 again because there were things in 1.3 that I prefer over 1.1.2, like more so mechanically than anything, because the drawn cutscenes by Quirky were removed in 1.1.3, so and like the bulk of them were in the tower, so I could just play 1.1.3 until the tower, and then I switched to 1.1.2. But I would get to this point in the apartments, and it would drive me nuts trying to figure out like how to get this to trigger, why it wasn't triggering. And then I finally got RPG Maker 2003, and then I looked through the game's code, and I found out that that whole interaction was just removed, and you can just and like the store is unlocked from the start, and you can just get in here and get the blind motivation. Because I like that interaction. It adds characterization to Adam. Oh, wrong one. Especially because, like, when you know the story of this game, you know that Adam is the one who issued the order to the rebellion to kill the District Guardians in the first place. And yet here he is in the apartments giving a warning to Malachi. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like, because with that removed, it makes Adam kind of like war one note, because you're not given, you're not presented with an interaction that runs counter to, like, the implication that he's the one who issued the order to the Guardians, to the rebellion to kill the Guardians in the first place. So you see the interaction, you know how the story goes, and you're just like, what's he trying to do? What's he trying to pull? But without it, it's just like, oh, this guy just wants the Guardians dead and that's it. Trying to hold the numbers in my brain so I don't have to pause, but honestly it might be faster if I just do that. And of course, what happens if you go back in? It is impossible to escape that room once you re-enter it. The door no longer has an interaction to exit back out into the hallway. It's just a wall there now. But that's it for this video.